The Wimbledon trophies had barely been polished when the tennis world received a shockwave it never saw coming. Alex Eala, the young Filipina who conquered center court, has just done something that left fans gasping for air. While the world was busy celebrating champions, a ranking update dropped that changed everything. From an unseated dreamer to a history maker, Eala's new spot has stunned even the most hardened tennis analysts. The question on everyone's lips: just how high did this 21-year-old sensation climb? And what does this mean for the future of tennis in the Philippines? The tennis world is still reeling after a seismic ranking update that followed the conclusion of Wimbledon 2026. While most fans were busy dissecting the finals, analyzing champions, and reliving the tournament's greatest moments, a bombshell dropped that completely shifted the narrative. Alex Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina who had captured hearts with her fearless performances, was not just moving up the rankings, she was catapulting into uncharted territory. On July 4, 2026, the Women's Tennis Association officially released its latest standings, and there it was. Alex Eala had climbed to a career-high world number 28. This wasn't just a minor bump. This was a monumental leap that placed her higher than any Filipino player in the history of the sport. The reaction was instantaneous. Social media platforms exploded with disbelief, celebration, and sheer excitement. Fans who had followed her journey from the junior circuits suddenly found themselves witnessing history in real time. The ranking wasn't just a number, it was validation. It was proof that all the early mornings, the grueling training sessions, the heartbreaking losses, and the relentless pursuit of excellence had finally paid off in the most spectacular fashion. For a player who had entered Wimbledon ranked number 32, the jump to number 28 represented not just progress, but a statement of intent. Eala had officially arrived, and the tennis world had no choice but to take notice. To truly understand the magnitude of this ranking jump, one must look back at the extraordinary Wimbledon campaign that made it all possible. Alex Eala didn't just participate in Wimbledon 2026, she conquered it with a series of performances that will be remembered for generations. Entering the tournament as the 29th seed, her first appearance as a seeded player at a Grand Slam, Eala carried the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders, and she delivered beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Her journey began with a dominant first-round victory, marking her first career win at SW19. But it was her second-round match that truly announced her arrival on the biggest stage. Facing Australia's Maya Joint, a player who had defeated her in a heartbreaking final at Eastbourne the previous year, Eala produced a masterclass in revenge. After dropping the first set 3-6, she stormed back to win 6-2, 6-0, reeling off the final 9 games in a display of sheer dominance. The tennis world took notice, but the best was yet to come. In the third round, Eala stepped onto center court to face the defending champion, Iga Swiatek, the world's top player and an overwhelming favorite. What followed was nothing short of a fairy tale. Eala produced a brave, crowd-enthralling performance, stunning Swiatek 7-6, 11-9, 6-2 in a commanding display that left the tennis establishment in shock. She became the first player from the Philippines to reach the fourth round of a major in the Open era. Though she eventually fell to Jasmine Paolini in a hard-fought 3-set battle, her run had already cemented her place in history. The points she earned from this incredible run, 240 ranking points, would prove to be the catalyst for her massive ranking jump. For those who follow the intricacies of WTA rankings, Alex Eala's jump to world number 28 was nothing short of extraordinary. Before Wimbledon, Eala was ranked number 32 in the world, having already enjoyed a steady climb throughout 2026. She had surged back into the top 30 in June after a semi-final run at the Berlin Open, jumping 5 spots from number 35 to number 30. But her Wimbledon performance took her to an entirely new level. The 240 ranking points she earned from reaching the round of 16, combined with her existing points from a remarkable season that included a 5-2 record against top 10 opponents, propelled her to a career-high number 28. This wasn't just a small incremental gain. It was a quantum leap that placed her ahead of established stars and solidified her status as one of the most exciting young players on the tour. The significance of this ranking cannot be overstated. At number 28, Eala became the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in WTA history, male or female. She had surpassed legends of Philippine tennis and carved out a legacy that was entirely her own. The ranking also positioned her for even greater opportunities. With a spot in the top 32, Eala secured first-round buys at prestigious WTA 1000 events like the National Bank Open in Toronto, giving her a competitive advantage that would further fuel her rise. For a player who was once an unseeded underdog, this ranking represented a transformation into a genuine contender, someone who could no longer be overlooked or underestimated by anyone on the tour. Alex Eala's ranking jump is not just a personal triumph. It is a victory for an entire nation. The Philippines, a country with a deep love for sports but limited history in tennis, has found a new hero in this young woman from Manila. Her rise to world number 28 has ignited a wave of national pride that transcends the sport itself. When the ranking was announced, Filipino fans flooded social media with messages of support, celebration, and overwhelming emotion. Politicians, celebrities, and everyday citizens united in their praise, recognizing that Eala had achieved something that no Filipino had ever done before. Her Wimbledon run, culminating in that stunning victory over Iga Swiatek on center court, was broadcast across the Philippines, with millions tuning in to witness history. The victory was particularly poignant because it came at a time when the country was hungry for sporting heroes. Eala's success follows a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games in December 2025, where she ended a 26-year drought for the Philippines in women's singles tennis. But this Wimbledon achievement was on an entirely different scale. It placed Philippine tennis on the global map in a way that had never been seen before. For young Filipino children dreaming of sporting glory, Eala has become a living proof that anything is possible. Her journey from the Rafael Nadal Academy to the heights of the WTA rankings is a story of determination, sacrifice, and unwavering belief. And with her ranking now at number 28, the dream is only getting bigger. The Philippines is no longer just a footnote in tennis history. It is a rising force, and Alex Eala is leading the charge. With her historic ranking jump now official, the tennis world is asking one question: what's next for Alex Eala? At just 21 years old, she has already achieved more than most players accomplish in a lifetime, but those who know her best understand that this is only the beginning. Eala's career-high ranking of number 28 opens doors that were previously closed. She will now enjoy preferential seating at major tournaments, more favorable draws, and the respect of opponents who once overlooked her. Her Wimbledon performance, which included victories over top 10 players and a run to the fourth round, has proven that she belongs among the elite. But Eala is not content to simply rest on her laurels. After a well-deserved break following her historic Wimbledon campaign, she is set to return to action at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington starting July 27th before heading to Toronto for the National Bank Open. These tournaments will be crucial in her quest to continue climbing the rankings and potentially break into the top 20 before the end of the year. Her recent performances suggest that this is not only possible, but likely. With a 5-2 record against top 10 opponents in 2026, Eala has shown that she can beat the best in the world on any given day. Her game has evolved dramatically with improved serve, more aggressive shot-making, and a mental toughness that was on full display at Wimbledon. The sky is truly the limit for this extraordinary young talent. As she prepares for the North American hard-court swing, fans around the world will be watching closely. If her Wimbledon run was any indication, Alex Eala is poised to deliver many more unforgettable moments. The ranking jump to number 28 is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. And if this chapter is anything like the last one, the tennis world had better brace itself for what's coming next. Alex Eala is here. She's climbing, and she's not stopping until she reaches the very top. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to World Zone right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to World Zone right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.